Hi students, today we are going to be looking at the topic electric circuits. What is electric circuits and the rest of them. If you remember from our previous classes, we were talking about electricity and electronics, and we know that electricity comes from the word electrons and the movement of electrons. So today we are going to get into the subject of electric circuit. What is an electric circuit? What are the components of electric circuit? What do we use electric circuits for, and where can we find electric circuits in our house and our appliances? So we're going to be looking at the definition and functions of electric circuit and its components. We are also going to be looking at definition of some physical quantities in direct current circuits and verification of the Ohm's law. So what do you say? Let us quickly get into it, right? Okay. Now, an electric circuit. Before we get into the definition of what an electric circuit is, we need to say some terms like conductors, semiconductors, and insulators. So what is a conductor? A conductor, for electrons to move from one place to another, they need a medium, right? The same way, for you to go from point A to point B, if you are traveling, you need a car. That is what a conductor is. A conductor aids the movement of electrons from one point to another. So a conductor is any material at all that can allow the movement of electrons from one place to another. So what examples do we have of conductors? Most metals are good conductors of electricity. For instance, iron is a good conductor, steel is also a good conductor. So quickly, let us get into semiconductors. When you say semiconductors, what do we mean? That is a big one again. Semiconductors. I think whenever we say semi of anything, it means that it's not necessarily fully that thing, but it is in part what we are talking about. So a semiconductor is any material that allows the flow of electrons from one point to another, but they don't do it with the same efficiency that a conductor would do it. A conductor is going to freely allow the flow of electrons from one point to another. A semiconductor would do the same thing, but not to the same degree that a conductor would do it. You get examples of semiconductors. We have germanium, we have silicon. Silicon, you find them in sands. When you pick up a stone, you find silicon. It's an element in there. In our other lectures, we might get to elements and talking about their properties. So we have insulators. What is an insulator? We've talked about the conductor, we've talked about the semiconductor, and then we are talking about the insulator. So what is an insulator? An insulator is any material at all that is not going to allow the movement of electrons from one place to another. That is what you call an insulator. It doesn't allow electrons to move from one place to another. So when you attach it to an electric circuit, it will not allow the flow of electrons from one point to another point.